Played 17 minutes tonight, and so he didn't play most of the fourth quarter. Is there any reason why? Is he hurt or
it's internal?
How have you and Monty kind of been able to move?
I haven't spoken to Monty. No, I haven't spoken at all. The GM for the Phoenix Suns came and brought me upstairs and told me that I got traded here, and then that was it. You know, I thank him for handling it the way they handle it.
When he entered the NBA in 2018, DeAndre Ayton looked like a potential franchise cornerstone as the clear-cut #1 overall pick in the 2018 NBA draft. And so far, he's proved to be a productive big, consistently scoring and rebounding enough to average a double-double in each season of his career. But despite his production, DeAndre Ayton hasn't taken the leap to stardom like others in his draft class. Devoid of an all-star selection or any individual award beyond his rookie season, DeAndre Ayton has come far short of the lofty expectations he shouldered entering the league. Not only that, but Ayton's detrimental actions and attitude off of the court helped engineer his exit from Phoenix and have carried over with him to Portland. Once viewed as an indispensable part of the contender, DeAndre Ayton now finds his reputation in decline as he toils in obscurity on a cellar-dwelling team. Before we get to the content, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help our grind to 900k subscribers. Now that we get all that out of the way, cue the intro. My Super Bowl picks that I made in my content with the Patrick Mahomes free square didn't hit, but the one that I posted onto my story did hit, and you guys let me know how much money you made in my DMs. And now that the NFL season's over, we're officially directing our attention to the NBA. I give away my picks for free at TheFlightMike on Instagram, and right now, when you sign up for Prize Picks, use promo code FlightMike to get up to a $100 deposit match when you sign up on Prize Picks. Or you can just use my link in the description down below. And thank you, Prize Picks, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? In a widely expected decision, the Phoenix Suns drafted DeAndre Ayton with the first overall pick in the 2018 NBA draft. The scouting report on DeAndre Ayton described him as an NBA-ready offensive big who thrives around the basket. His defense needed some work, but at 7 feet tall, he possessed the physical attributes needed to become at least a serviceable rim protector. DeAndre Ayton joined a Phoenix organization in the midst of a lengthy playoff drought and would get all the playing time and touches he'd need to develop. He, along with 2015 lottery pick Devin Booker, would be the team's foundation as they progressed with their youth movement. DeAndre Ayton looked as advertised as a rookie, consistently producing big numbers on a nightly basis. He finished 12th in the NBA in double-doubles with 39 on his way to averaging 16 points and a team-high 10 rebounds per game. Earning the nickname Dominatin' through his early dominance, DeAndre Ayton played his way onto the all-rookie first team. However, he only finished third in Rookie of the Year voting behind Luka Doncic and Trae Young. Unlike Doncic and Trae Young, Ayton wasn't the end-all be-all for his team, just a starter who was expected to produce in his role on a 19-win team. As a result, he didn't get a single first-place vote for the award. While far from a catastrophic development, this was the first whiff of disappointment to emanate from DeAndre Ayton. Unfortunately, the true disappointment would come later that year, after firing first-year head coach Igor Kokoshov and replacing him with former Pelicans head coach Monty Williams. The Phoenix Suns expected to take a tangible step forward in their seemingly aimless rebuild. They expected that of Ayton as well, who figured to take on more responsibility as an NBA sophomore. But just one game into his sophomore season, and DeAndre Ayton already found himself in trouble. DeAndre Ayton would test positive for a banned substance, triggering a 25-game suspension. Ayton said all of the right things after being suspended, but this was a devastating blow to him and the Phoenix Suns, who were hoping for a big step forward from their team and franchise center. He wouldn't return until mid-December, but that only lasted for one game because of an ankle injury. Ayton put up better numbers than the year before, but he only ended up playing in 38 games in the 2019 to 2020 season, which included the Suns' strong showing in the NBA bubble. The Suns went a perfect 8-0 in the bubble, but still missed the playoffs. Overall, the Suns were just 14-21 without Ayton, while posting a 20-18 record when he did play. Maybe Phoenix slips into the playoffs if Ayton hadn't been suspended. It was a disappointing finish knowing what could have been, but but the franchise seemed to finally be headed in the right direction. That offseason, Phoenix acquired Chris Paul, raising expectations for the entire organization as they looked to end their 10-year playoff drought. It didn't take long for them to put the league on notice, as the Suns went on to win 51 games on their way to earning the West's 2 seed and finally ending their decade-long absence from the playoffs. For his part, Ayton made sure he was consistently available, only missing the season's final 3 games. He didn't have as many shot attempts and his scoring numbers took a hit, but his field goal percentage shot up noticeably. Ayton was still a walking double-double, but now he was contributing to winning. He credited Chris Paul for helping him grow as the two formed an effective pick-and-roll duo throughout the season. The Suns stormed through the Western Conference playoffs, beating the defending champion Los Angeles Lakers in 6 games before sweeping the shorthanded Denver Nuggets in the second round. They went on to play a tough Western Conference Finals against a Clippers team without Kawhi Leonard. Ayton continued his great postseason against LA with big performances early and a truly dominant Game 4 with 19 points, 22 rebounds, and 4 blocks in a low-scoring 84-80 win. After a career night, Ayton once again heaped praise on Paul for helping him reach his potential.
Well, I love CP, man. Like I said, that's really the only teammate that really pushed me, like big bro type push, knowing what I got and that I never thought that I had. I think he was the best thing that happened to my career. I can say that every day. Just C is really a dude who pays attention to detail. It's not how he said, it's what he's saying. I think most people don't get. It's just a message for real, and he cares so much. It's actually crazy. I never know a guy could, care so much about basketball and compete at everything. And it's contagious, and that's what it built in me as well. And just having him as a teammate and the experiences that he's went through and teaching me the little things it's helped me, man, and it is working.
Phoenix went on to close the series in 6 games and reach the NBA Finals for just the 3rd time in franchise history. Against the Milwaukee Bucks in the NBA Finals, Phoenix jumped out to a 2-0 series lead, including a 22-point, 19-rebound performance from Ayton in Game 1, but that was before Giannis Antetokounmpo began to dominate. Giannis took control when the series shifted to Milwaukee. Perhaps the most memorable play from that series was Giannis's incredible block on Ayton to deny an alley-oop to preserve a late lead in Game 4. Bucks would go on to win 4 straight games and capture the NBA title. Phoenix seemed more motivated than ever to avenge their finals loss during the 2021 to 2022 season. Ayton and the Suns looked like they had taken the lessons from the postseason and applied it to the following regular season. The Suns were easily the league's best team in the regular season, earning the West's 1 seed with a franchise record 64 wins. Ayton played in 58 games, missing time with leg and ankle injuries, but when he played, he was terrific. He averaged 17 points while averaging 4th in the league in field goal percentage and added 10 rebounds per night. There wasn't much cause for concern until the playoffs began. Ayton had big scoring nights, averaging 20 points per game in the first round against the Pelicans, but it was notable that the league's best team took 6 games to extinguish a team that finished 10 games below 500. Their second round series against Dallas was a dogfight, with the home team winning each of the first 6 games, but Game 7 proved to be a major inflection point between Ayton and the Suns. The Mavericks destroyed the Suns that night on their own home floor, with Phoenix mustering up 27 points in the first half. Ayton played less than 18 minutes and appeared to get into a verbal altercation with Monty Williams after he was benched 3 minutes into the second half. He didn't play at all in the 4th quarter. While Ayton didn't speak to the media that night, Williams gave a 2-word explanation for Ayton's lack of playing time.
Played 17 minutes tonight, and so he didn't play most of the 4th quarter. Is there any reason why? Is he hurt, or
it's internal?
This was a detrimental development to Ayton's relationship with his coach and the organization entering restricted free agency. And right when you think it couldn't get any worse, it did. Before the last year of his rookie contract, Ayton and the Suns were unable to agree to an extension after several other first-rounders from that year signed big new deals with their teams. Luka got a Supermax extension. Trae Young got a Supermax contract extension. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 5-year, $207 million contract extension. Michael Porter Jr. signed a contract extension, and DeAndre Ayton's own teammate that was drafted later on in the lottery, Mikal Bridges, received a contract extension. Only DeAndre Ayton, the former #1 overall pick in the same draft class, didn't receive an offer. But Woj reported that the Suns didn't view Ayton as belonging in that group of players. With his contract impasse simmering in the background all season, the souring relationship began to boil as the 2022 offseason bragged on without a deal for Ayton. In mid-July, the Indiana Pacers forced the Phoenix Suns' hand, signing DeAndre Ayton to a 4-year, $133 million offer sheet, the largest offer sheet in NBA history. However, since he was a restricted free agent, Phoenix matched the offer, deciding to keep him in the desert rather than letting him leave for nothing. But Ayton didn't sound too enthusiastic about returning and made a stunning revelation about his relationship with Monty Williams.
How have you and Monty kind of been able to move
I haven't
on?
spoken to Monty. No, I haven't spoken to him at all. Ever since the game.
So not even
No.
Open that changes soon.
I'm here.
You happy to be here, DA?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Regardless, Phoenix was still relying on Ayton to be a vital contributor, and the on-court results initially looked good. The Suns won a lot through the season's first month and a half, including some massive games from Ayton. A sensational back-to-back in late November produced one of the best stretches of his career with his third career 20-point, 20-rebound performance. But it wasn't long until once again things turned for the worse. The Suns started to slip in December and through the start of the new year. Ayton's strained relationship with Williams was thrust back into focus during a viral exchange between the two during a timeout in a late December loss to the slumping Washington Wizards. This happened just hours after Matt Ishbia agreed to a record-setting deal to take over as the team's new owner. Once Ishbia officially took over in early 2023, he helped engineer a franchise-altering deal in order to trade for Kevin Durant. But injuries limited KD to just 8 regular season games after the trade, which meant they still needed Ayton to shoulder a big offensive load. Ayton finished the season averaging 18 points and 10 rebounds per game in 67 games, although his field goal percentage fell significantly. In the first round of the playoffs against the shorthanded Clippers, Ayton had a big series as the best big on the floor, helping Phoenix knock out LA in 5 games. But the second round against the Denver Nuggets was a completely different story. After going down 0-2 in the series, Phoenix won Game 3, but Ayton was upset after being benched down the stretch and blatantly ignored Chris Paul during the timeout, the same guy who he once profusely praised. Phoenix would go on to win Game 4 to even up the series, but they lost by double digits in the final 2 games to fall in 6 games against the eventual champions. Ayton was ruled out for Game 6 just hours before tip-off because of a rib injury, and he had to watch his season end from the bench. In 5 games, he put up measly scoring and rebounding numbers while getting completely outclassed on the other end by Nikola Jokic, who averaged a triple-double during the series. It was an extremely disappointing finish to what turned out to be his final season as a Sun. Despite firing Monty Williams, whose relationship with Ayton had deteriorated considerably, Phoenix traded DeAndre Ayton away that offseason in a 3-team deal with Portland and Milwaukee. Damian Lillard ended up with the Milwaukee Bucks while Ayton landed in Portland. The Suns agreed to take back Yusuf Nurkic to replace Ayton and other role players to fill out their depth. Shortly after the trade went down, Ayton already changed into a Trailblazers jersey while playing 2K. During his introductory press conference with Portland, Ayton all but confirmed that he had requested a trade out of Phoenix.
The GM for the Phoenix Suns came and brought me upstairs and told me that I got traded here, and then that was it. I thank him for handling it the way they handle it, and just accommodating to my wishes, and here we are today.
Expectations for the Trailblazers were low entering the season after dealing away Damian Lillard, opening up DeAndre Ayton to ample playing time and offensive opportunities, and a chance to build a rapport with the Portland Trailblazers' brand new top 3 draft pick and franchise cornerstone, Scoot Henderson. Ayton largely maintained his number of double-digit rebounding games, but his scoring was significantly lower than he was in Phoenix. His screening ability didn't exactly look like his days with Chris Paul either. Meanwhile, Portland began just 7-21 before Ayton hit the injury report with right knee tendonitis. That kept him out for the next 11 games, and he was slated to return against Brooklyn in mid-January before a truly bizarre situation extended his absence for another game. Ayton missed Portland's win over the Nets because of icy roads that prevented him from getting to the arena. Ayton had been attempting for hours trying to get past sheets of ice, and the team reportedly sent people to try to help, but it ultimately proved to be fruitless. Which, with all due respect, I've been an NBA fan for a very long time, and I don't want to come off as insensitive because I live in sunny California. We don't have icy roads here. I've never heard of a situation where icy roads prevented a player from getting to the arena to play his game. I don't necessarily know if this was just an excuse to get out of playing the game, because to me, it sounds like the basketball equivalent of my dog ate my homework. And it makes a lot of sense because the Portland Trailblazers season isn't really going anywhere this year. But maybe I'm an insensitive sensitive dickhead towards people that live in icy conditions? Let me know in the comment section down below. And the reason why I'm saying this is, once DeAndre Ayton finally returned to the court, he would just score 23 points across his next 3 games. Around that time, Ayton gave an interview to Mark Medina of Basketball Intelligence, during which he produced a truly shocking quote. Ayton said he had nothing to prove in this league and said, "I'm a max player and I'll continue to be a max player." Now, there's nothing wrong with a player having confidence, but saying this while averaging a career low in points on a Portland team that's headed towards the lottery is insane. This quote may not be as shocking to those who remember something Ayton said before he even entered the league. During a pre-draft interview in 2018, Ayton was asked to define what success in the NBA looked like to him, and Ayton replied, "Definitely getting to my second contract, that's my success." When somebody tells you who they really are, believe them. DeAndre Ayton seems to be focused on securing the bag, and everything else is just a cherry on top. It doesn't matter that he gets routinely roasted by Nikola Jokic or other elite bigs. He's on a contract that's paying him over $30 million over the next 2 seasons, so in his mind, he's made it. He has possessed all the physical skills needed to be a great player, but he's come woefully short of stardom. It's easy to question how much he's actually improved since entering the league as someone who can score and rebound, but is still merely serviceable or even bad on defense. A player who once seemed to be a surefire perennial all-star has lagged behind the other members of his draft class like Luka and Trae Young, but also SGA, Jalen Brunson, Jaren Jackson Jr., and his former teammate Mikal Bridges. This new chapter in Portland was supposed to be a chance for him to lead a young team on and off of the court, to focus on his own development, maybe start shooting from beyond the arc. Instead, according to Jason Quick of The Athletic, his Portland tenure has been defined by tardiness and tantrums. Team sources say that there has been an eerie resemblance to when they had Hassan Whiteside, a center whose statistics look nice but had little to no impact on a game. He's consistently produced good statistics in his career, but his actual impact isn't accurately reflected in his numbers. That is the enigma of DeAndre Ayton, the struggle between production and impact. And at the end of the day, I believe DeAndre Ayton is going on a similar road to a former #1 overall pick in the NBA draft that was just content with the amount of money that he was getting paid, that consistently stagnated each and every year, who had the potential to be one of the greatest players of all time, but just simply didn't possess the mental makeup to do it. Let me know in the comment section down below. Is DeAndre Ayton the center equivalent of Ben Simmons? Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.